Hello, everyone. I'm Casey Simmons. I'm the current president this year of the Texas A&M Mock Trial team. Welcome to our very first informational of the year. We're going to tell you a little bit about what we do, what it's like being on the team, and about the audition process and everything that you're going to need to know. David, next slide, please. If you can get it to the next slide. Okay, we're going to introduce ourselves. Again, I am Casey. I am the president. My hair is no longer that color. If you cannot tell, it is purple. It changes at the end of the season every year. I let my team choose. It's a thing. So yes, Nathan, go ahead.
My name is Nathan Varnell. I'm the vice president. I don't remember what else we were supposed to say about ourselves, but I don't think Casey remembered either.
Major and year. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm a class of 2023 political science major. What are you, Casey?
I am a junior philosophy major, and I forgot, even though I was the one that told them what to say. Okay, and I'm also going to introduce Haley. That's Haley Huggins. She's our secretary. She can't be here tonight. She is, I think, a senior this year, and I could not tell you her major. Does anybody know? I don't remember.
She's poli science. She's my year too.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, I'm Anna. I'm the treasurer of the mock trial team this year. I'm class of 2023, and I'm a political science and applied math double degree.
Hi guys, my name is David. I'm a senior mechanical engineer, and I'm this year's current public affairs officer.
All right, David, next slide, please.
All right, so what is mock trial? Mock trial is an academic competition. During a mock trial, two teams, one from our school and one from somewhere else, or sometimes two of our own teams, will be the plaintiff, prosecution, and one will be the defense. And we will debate a set case produced by the American Mock Trial Association in front of a panel of judges who will then rate our performance for each little stage of the trial. And it incorporates all kinds of elements from theater, debate, improv, speech, and often writing as well. So, next slide, Debbie.
Okay, so each year we get a case packet, and it obviously is the case. Last year was criminal, this year it will be civil. It switches every year. So we basically just read the case, develop a case strategy with our team, and we'll perform direct and cross examinations, opening and closing statements, and objections during the case. Next slide.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what you guys will be doing. So there's two positions in mock trial. The first one will be attorneys, and the second one is a witness. So for attorneys, you're going to get the opportunity to do things such as learn the rules of evidence. You get to act out an attorney's role in a real courtroom, usually in front of real judges. And you also get to convince a jury of exactly how they should rule. So you get to look at all the evidence, you get to make your own arguments, and then you get to try and distribute those arguments to the jury to try and convince them to your side. Another part of being an attorney is obviously learning court procedure. You have to learn how to be an attorney, how to act, what the etiquette is, and really just every little tiny detail. We get a lot of comments from real judges that say that the attorneys that we produce here at mock trial are often better than attorneys in real courtrooms. So you guys get to have a lot of practice with everything that you do. The second position is a witness. So a witness, you get an affidavit and you get to act out that affidavit. This is where the theater aspect of mock trial comes in. So you get to portray a specific character. You get to use your acting skills. You have to know everything about that character in order to then act. And you have to be believable to a jury. You're really the character witness that everyone looks to. You're what, kind of holds mock trial together. So you have to make sure that you have, a decent amount of skills portraying it to where a jury can really believe exactly what you say.
All right, back to me. All right, so this is a little bit outlined of what a typical season is going to look like for y'all. So meetings, we have them every Tuesday and every Thursday from 8 to 9:40. They are mandatory because you are going to be learning in the first couple weeks everything about mock trial, how to do everything. We are going to teach you everything. You don't need any experience. you're going to get some really in-depth lessons on how to be an attorney and a witness and everything. So those will be online this year. They're going to be over Zoom. We've already figured out the curriculum and everything. It's going to be really smooth, hopefully, cross your fingers. There will be some Saturday meetings every once in a while. They should be online. And those are going to be when you're working with your team, just like your team. So usually the big meetings from Tuesdays to Thursdays will be everyone. And then Saturday meetings are usually just your 10-person team. Socials, we usually have 1 to 2 a month. That's David's thing. He will post stuff. We'll send it in the group chat. You'll figure it out. We'll have profit shares and such and such and such. And then scrimmages is going to be a lot more this year. We have a couple connections all around, Texas and around the US with a bunch of different teams. And we've been really working hard to set up some scrimmages, which are just going to be you and one other team from wherever. And they will be just getting practice in, and they're going to be a little bit less formal, but we'll have quite a few more this season. And then tournaments, these are completely online this year. It is a new precedent. They have never happened like this before. We are all still figuring it out. The American Mock Trial Association is still figuring it out. But usually there will be 3 a semester, but this year they've usually cut down because a lot of people have decided not to host. But we do have a couple in our schedule that we will be attending to get practice for regionals. So regionals is the big competition. It happens in the spring. You will go with your team and you'll compete from a bunch of people in our region. We're typically Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, kind of around that. We're usually in that area. It's a pretty competitive area. But we usually send 2 teams to either Dallas or Houston, and then 1 to whichever one we didn't send 2 teams to. And then after that is open round championship series. That's just the next step. And then you have nationals, which you can go if you qualify. And we have qualified before. And we usually send at least 1 team to Orcs a year. All right, David, go ahead. Next slide.
Okay, so dues this year are going to be $150 total, and they'll be $75 per semester. If you can't make that or something happens, just talk to me about it and we can figure it out. And dues typically covers hotels, travel costs, airfare, tournament registration, and t-shirts. But because tournaments are going to be online this year, we've lowered dues a little bit since hotels and travel won't really be in our schedule. So yeah.
All right, so auditions coming up soon. First of all, just want to go ahead and say that if you are concerned about holding auditions in person, which we're currently planning on doing at a socially distanced, safe environment, a clean environment, we will be offering virtual auditions over Zoom. You just have to reach out to us and we will be able to set that up. But the actual audition itself is comprised of a impromptu speech over these kind of general prompts that we will then ask questions about your speech and stance to challenge it after you've kind of put out your thesis in that little speech. Then there will be the following interview where we will take some of the questions that we got from your application and just from things that we want to know about you and see if you have some of the skills that we're looking for mock trial. The application is on our website, which I'm pretty sure we have a link for here, and we just need to email to us by 5 p.m. September 4th.
All right, so now we're going to talk a little about some important dates. So September 4th at 5 p.m., as Nathan just mentioned, that's our application deadline. September 5th through September 7th, those are auditions. Auditions run from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., so you should find plenty of time in order to, come around. September 7th, we're going to actually release our roster. So we're going to try and work as hard as we can the last night of auditions in order to release the roster. You should, get what team you're on by either September 7th or September 8th. And then on September 10th, we will have our first meeting, and we would be, delighted if you guys can all show up to that.
Okay, so this is the fun part. You get to hear about our experiences in mock trial, what it's like. I always tell pretty much the same story. I have met my best friends in this organization. It's the greatest thing. These people, you spend so much freaking time with them that they will literally like start to read your mind. My favorite story from the past year was I was in a court round and I was crossing a witness and I was just hammering into this girl. Like she was like, it was bad. Like she was just not answering my questions. So I was just going after her and I like knew that she just messed up. Like she said something not even close to what was right. And I turn around and Haley, our secretary, but Nathan was also there. I turn around and she is holding the exact piece of paper that I needed to like ruin this witness. And I don't know how she knew it, but she had it. She handed it to me and it was underlined with the line that I needed because she knew where I was going. And she like, it was the greatest experience. It gave me chills around. I turned around and I was like, ah, she gets me. She knows me. She knows exactly where I'm going. So like, it is such a good way to make friends but also like grow your experiences as like a potential attorney. But do not take it from me, like you do not need to be or want to be an attorney at all to be in this club. Don't worry, some of us are like, no, I mean, I want to be one, but I know several people that have gone through this club and been like, I don't want to be an attorney, I just am here for the friends. And you will make the most ridiculously funny friends. And yes. All right, Nathan, you want to tell your story?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a specific moment, I guess, off the top of my head. There's a few that come to mind, but really just the perfect part of the season for me was when I was on our C team, Casey, you know, we were both on that, and we go to the regionals tournament as just our little C team up at, what was it, UTA? I'm not sure. Not UTA. UTA.
Yeah.
I don't know. And just spending that like week with them was definitely the peak of the season, because you get to know these people so well, in and out of the team, in and out of meetings. I mean, things will be different this year, but I'm sure just the way that everything works with mock trial, it's hard not to get to know these people and get to be really, really close friends with them. And with how tournaments work, usually spending long nights at like 3 a.m. trying to talk about the case and ending up just having some of the best moments of the year together. So I think Anna next.
Yeah. Okay. So I've met like some of my best friends through this org, like so many people that I see outside of this org and that I spend so much time with that literally make me laugh until I'm crying. Like it's the best thing ever. And I do remember on our retreat last year, we like stayed up all night, like playing games and getting to know each other. And I remember there was this like one moment where we were just all sitting there and I was like, wow, like I really love these people. Like I've known them for like a week and like they get me and they know everything about me now and I know everything about them, and it's so much fun. And just like building those relationships at retreat really helped me during our tournaments, like being able to trust them and like they trust me. And it's seriously been one of the best experiences I've had, not just in college but like in my life. So I think it's really great. Okay.
All right, so I've had a decently unique experience. Mock Trial is still a fairly new organization here at Texas A&M, and so I'm one of only 2 people who have actually been in Mock Trial for all 4 years of my undergraduate career. And so it's been a pretty special place for me as an organization, and I've got to see how it's grown and how we've transitioned throughout the years, as well as the kind of relationships you can build. And so the one thing that I do want to emphasize is that Mock Trial is going to be a lot about relationships. So whether you like it or not, you're going to make friends, and we're going to force you to make friends. And, part of the reason I wanted to be public affairs and student affairs, basically the person who is going to interact with you guys, as well as just try and create socials for you guys this year, is so that you guys can have the same experiences that I've had throughout all my years here in Mock Trial. And so I'm really going to try to create a family environment for you guys. That's going to include, some in-person activities, if you guys really want to, within small groups. But for the most part, every week you're going to have some opportunity to just jump on Zoom or jump on some program or jump on a game and just hang out with people. If you want a study group, we're going to have study groups all the time. So, there's going to be mock trial. We're going to be able to do all these fun new experiences, and you get to learn about how to conduct yourself in a courtroom. But you're also going to be, have every opportunity you possibly can to just hang out with new people, meet friends, have someone that you can connect with, and really just build relationships with. And those relationships carry through law school and beyond. And so it's very valuable, and I really hope that you guys, will have the same experience that I've had thus far. So at this point, it concludes our presentation. I'm just going to mention that if you guys want to learn any more information, you can go to teamandmocktrial.com. You can also apply there as well as sign up for your audition. And if you want to attend, say, another informational later this week, you can also go there. But we're going to open the room for questions. So I'm actually going to split all the participants into 2 rooms. That way we can be a little bit more efficient in terms of asking questions. So if you do have any questions, just drop it in the chat, or if you want to speak, you can speak. And then we should have 2 officers in each room, so you should be able to have your question answered. So with that, thank you. And if you give me a second, I will break you guys out into rooms.
I promise we're nice, we won't bite, so stay around, please. If David can do this.
Okay.
Alright,
Do y'all
howdy,
have any
guys.
questions? Yeah.
You can drop it in the chat, or you can just speak to us.
Hey, I have a quick question. I'm Rachel, by the way. And so
Hi.
I know that the audition is impromptu and it's kind of like you get there and then you do it. But is there anything that we can do to like kind of prepare, if anything, just like ease nerves that you would recommend?
So we can give you a little bit of context as to what you're actually going to be doing for the impromptu speech. So essentially, we're going to give you a set of 5 or 6 topics. They're going to be general, basic topics like should the minimum voting age be raised to 21? And all you're going to do is you're just going to speak with your opinion on whatever topic you chose out of the list we give you. And then we're going to cross-examine you and ask you questions about whatever stance you took, and basically see if you can defend your position. So that's really what all the impromptu portion of the speech is going to be.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rockney. I'm wondering, how big is the organization in total? Because I think you said 30 people are going to be admitted this semester, but how large is the organization?
Andy, you want to take that?
Yeah. Like there's going to be 30 people in the org all year, if that's what you're asking. Okay.
Yeah, we have new members and returning members all audition. So each year it's a new team, and each year we compare all of our applicants in order to get the team. So you're competing on the same playing field with even returning members.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name's Peyton. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I have to be in the hallway. I had a question. So I saw the schedule on that one slide. What is the time commitment like? Like it says meetings, but what, like if you had to put an hour number, like how many hours a week or a month do you think that mock trial takes up?
David?
So it's pretty much going to depend on what team you're going to be placed on. We're going to give some option as to what team you can choose. So primarily our A team is going to be the one that is most competitive, and that's going to require the most work that you have to put into it. Whereas our C team is usually less competitive, not because of ability, but just simply we send them to less tournaments overall. But we rotate members throughout the season, so you guys can have a chance to be on every team throughout the season, so you don't have to worry about being stuck on one single team. But anyways, if in reference to a specific time frame, I would say that outside of meeting times, you'll probably need to spend 3 hours a week. But that's going to change depending on the time of the semester. So for instance, at the beginning of the semester, it's usually a little bit more of a learning curve. So you're going to have to work a little bit harder just to understand it. And then towards the end of the semester, you're already into the swing of things, you understand it all, and you really don't have to put too much work into it.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have a question?
I have a question. I think you guys might have touched on it, but how long were the speeches supposed to be in the audition?
I forgot, David.
They're just going to be a maximum of 2 minutes, so they're not too long.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, there's pretrial motions, but they're much more specific than high school. Did you do high school in state?
I live in Washington.
Oh, okay, cool, dope. Hi, are y'all done with your? I'm making them talk to me. So there's a couple of changes. There are pretrial motions. There's more witnesses a lot. There's quite a few changes, but yeah, there are pretrials and they're a little bit more in depth, but we will teach you how to do them, exactly what to say. We'll give you a checklist. It's like a whole thing. Doug.
All right. So my question is, how do you imagine these online trials going?
Like garbage fire. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. So AMTA has released a few things, kind of. So they've changed some of the time limits about stuff. They've significantly decreased it, but they haven't really given us a ton to go on. So I think it'll go as best as it can go. We're gonna set up like an A&M precedent, or we're gonna figure out what works best for us, and then we're gonna try it. So if that means having all 3 attorneys in the same room, but the witnesses be remote, then that's fine. Like AMTA hasn't really released what they want, like if they want us to be in the same room for trial, like stuff like that. So we're just gonna go with the flow and see what happens. And that's why we've set up so many virtual scrimmages, is because before we get to a tournament, we're gonna try and scrimmage as many people and see what goes badly, and then learn from that, and then finally get to the tournament, and hopefully it will be better. But also the tournament people have no idea what's going on either. So hopefully it works out.
By the end of the season, the scrimmages could be going a lot better than the actual tournament will. So we'll see.
We're confident that we can figure it out, and we can equip y'all with the skills that can help us figure it out. But yeah, it's going to be a go with the flow kind of year. So
it's probably just going to have a lot more formality of like getting one person on call, the stand, talking, and then off, and then making sure we manage all these things.
Yeah. I think a lot of the tournaments will be released where they'll give us some kind of rules where they want it. Like I'm expecting Baylor to send us something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and then I'm in constant contact with all the people we're scrimmaging, so I'm anticipating them to be like, are y'all okay with this and this and this, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah. Any other questions, concerns? You can ask us about ourselves. You can ask nothing. You can just look at us if you want.
You can
Is
leave.
Is it entirely student-led, run, and coached? Or are there attorneys advising at all?
So we are mostly student-led. We have been for the past couple of years, but we do have an attorney coach who, his name is Corey Cagle. He's a practicing attorney in the Bryan College Station area. He's really sweet. He's really dope. He's really cool. And he will come and listen in and help us and write stuff. But the curriculum is mostly taught by yours truly and the rest of my people that are all over my screen. But it's primarily us teaching, but he comes in and helps clarify a lot. And he's there for the finer details, and it's really nice to have him around.
Once or twice in the competitive year, we have workshops as well with some local district attorneys.
That will help too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
How do you determine who's an attorney and who's a witness?
Oh, that's a great question. Does someone, Nathan, Anna, do y'all want to talk? I talk a lot, so if someone wants to talk, y'all feel free.
There's more formal decisions when we set teams that come from seeing who is the more rhetorical side and who is the more performative, personalities, and how we think people will fit together as a team. So like 3 people may be better teammates, and those who we want as the attorneys rather than just the best at rhetoric and arguing. However, as the season progresses, we'll figure out who's actually more comfortable and better at this or that and fine tune our team itself. And it does become less formal as well at certain times where maybe a person has fallen ill or something to that effect. And we simply have to have an attorney also double as a witness. And so there's a lot of crossing over in that regard. And we switch teams up pretty frequently to make sure that we're getting everyone comfortable with where they want to be.
We'll also ask who wants to be an attorney and who would rather be a witness, and that also plays into our decision. Like, it's not like end all be all, but we also like to know what y'all want. So
yeah, like we don't, if you're like, I would rather die than be an attorney, then we're gonna listen to you. Like, we're not gonna, like, we might put you in for one scrimmage to see if you end up liking it, but like, we're not gonna like force you to do something that you absolutely hate. So, and it's a lot of, we also play into like people working together. So my freshman year, Doug knows who I'm talking about, but like there was this kid that like everyone knew that I clicked with really well. His name is Killian, and like he could read my freaking mind. And so they always paired us together because there would be times where I would like come up with random questions on the fly and I knew that he knew what I wanted. Like, so there's also like, if I am really good at like talking back and forth with Nathan, I might be his witness and he might be my attorney based on like how we watch all put together. So that also plays into effect.
I also want to
By the end of last season, me and Mark were really.
What, David?
I was just going to say that there's 6 different attorney positions, and there's usually up to 12 different witness positions. So you have an amazing range of different opportunities to choose from. And we encourage that you actually try out a bunch of different positions because they offer different skill sets and they offer different experiences for you. So it's probably beneficial to you to also try, multiple different positions.
Yeah. I mean, we've had kids at the very end of the year be like, can I try being an attorney? Like they did the whole year. And at the very end, they ask and they go into it and they're like, oh crap, I really like this. Like I should have asked earlier. So we try and encourage and switch up teams enough where you get to try, like dip your toe into being a witness, but being this type of witness, being a criminal, being, the defendant, being a grieving mother. Like, so we like to switch your range and see like where you really work. And like, we let you play around. Like one of my witnesses last year was a mobster. So like it wasn't me. I played someone that was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like
we made it into a mobster. It was not from the get-go of mobster.
I was directing a mobster, and then I played like a dude bro, and like I made a whole bunch of like sick jokes. Like it was bad, but it's like we give you the opportunity to do stupid stuff in court and like let you like learn from that. And like sometimes it really works, and the judges just like really vibe with you. So like I also like, a lot of people are like, I don't want to be a witness, but sometimes it's really funny to be dumb and in court, like do the stupidest stuff, like wear a suit but with Birkenstocks, or like have a stupid accent. I was British but with like a terrible British accent last year. So like it's good to like be able to try out new things. And so like we give you all the opportunity to do that too, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I know we're keeping it all in here for a while, but I'm just gonna keep talking. So anything else? Do y'all want? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, does everybody get to at least be like both attorney and a witness, like every year? Like does everybody in like the people who are members get to like talk in like the scrimmages?
Yeah. So most of the time, people will be placed as, sometimes you'll double. So you'll be like an attorney on defense and a witness on prosecution or plaintiff or whatever. But we try and make it like, if you want to be both, then like we'll make sure that you get to try everything. Like you're gonna get to try it if you want to try it.
Yeah.
Any other questions? No. Do y'all want to hear about this year's case? Y'all can say no. You do? Okay. I know Patty does, so I'm gonna talk about it because Patty wants to talk about it. So they've recently changed it. It's gonna be a civil case. People don't really like civil cases. I actually prefer civil cases because I don't like criminal procedure. It's annoying and just like really yeah. So it's something about, I read the case summary, but it's being released later because of COVID and some other stuff. So we should actually get it like the day or two before the first meeting. But it has to do with someone, and Anna, all of y'all chime in if I'm wrong, but it has to do with there's like a dinner party, and someone gets offered a drink and they drink it, and then the next morning they end up dead, and they find out that there were pesticides in there. And so it's I think it's not negligent homicide. It's negligence and then something else, but I can't remember the other charge. I could pull it up.
Battery is also one. Also a charge.
It's battery, and then was negligence?
Battery and negligence per se.
Okay.
So there's a lot more details here than I'm not. Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting. I hope it's interesting. Y'all will get to read it, and it's 130 pages, so don't worry about it. It's gonna be a good time, I promise.
I was amazed at how long the case was when I first saw it.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. And don't freak out though.
Yeah, because we break it down into small bits where y'all will read it, and then we'll discuss, and then y'all will read it, and then we'll discuss. And by the end of the year, you'll probably be able to say like several of the affidavits from your head, like from memory. So
Yeah.
don't, you're going to get it and be like, holy crap, it's this big, but so.
Yeah, inevitably you'll really only care about like 13 pages of it, and then, yeah.
So yeah, any other questions? Y'all can ask us questions about ourselves or just more experiences. Y'all can also leave if you don't want to. Anything else? Steven, were you the one that emailed me? I think you emailed me about asking questions.
Yeah, I'm the one who was pestering you.
Yes. No, you weren't pestering. Okay. I was like, you said Washington mock trial, and I remember that from the email. Very cool. Where in Washington are you from?
He's moved.
Vancouver, Washington, and this is not Canada. It's across the river from Portland, Oregon.
I lived in Camas for a really long time.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I was in Camas, Washington for a while, so I was like, okay, yeah, no, I know exactly where you're from. That's dope. Very cool. Awesome. Any other questions? No. Doug, is that a courtroom behind you? Look at him. Can y'all give me like a range? Or raise your hand if you're a freshman. Okay. Sophomore. Dope. Junior. And then senior in high school? Or senior in general? Okay.
Senior in high school.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cool. Dope. Awesome. Then we have a good range. Yay. Awesome. Anything else I want to talk about? David, Anna, Nathan? Anything? All right, then y'all are free to go. If you have specific questions that you want to ask, like me or whatever, y'all just want to be one-on-one, stick around. Other than that, we hope to see you at auditions. Applications are due Friday, emailed to us, and then sign up for an audition. It's all on our website, and then we will see you then. Have a good week, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.